I finally found that thing. I put it out there. She kept saying, post and post and post. And people started seeing me in a new light, more in the consultant. And I actually just got off the phone. I was on the phone while you were talking. With someone who called me and asked me how they can utilize my services. And then I just got another payment of $500 yesterday. So in the last 2 weeks, I've made a few $1,000s. I'll just say that. Building the agent.
Okay, so let's go back just a couple of months ago when I first met Kamille back in March when she just completed the program.
It's amazing. I can appreciate a teacher who shows me how step by step. I'm very step by step person when I teach, whether it's I do teach on platforms, social media platforms. I can appreciate a teacher like that because that's the way that I learn. And what I am like the other lady who said, if it was more because I had just paid so much money, I don't know that I initially would have. Would I recommend you to other people? Yes, and I have. And I told them you're going to get more than what you bargained for. So they would have a different expectation of the payment because they didn't go through all of what I did. So they probably would pay more because I've been hyping you up like that. Okay. Because I mean that. And so, with that being said, though, I would have paid exponentially more for this program. And for the first time, day one in, I feel like I can actually make money this month. Before, I'm always left with questions. Am I going to be able to do this? I'm frustrated. I'm doing all this and all that. But just simplifying it down to one thing. I don't know who my audience is right now. I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out. Me and my bestie, Chatty, we're going to be finding out tonight. I done already signed my thing, and I'm going to figure out what that offer is going to be, and I'm going to do it. So for the first time, I feel like I can actually go out and make the money that I said I was going to make. So I just want to say thank you so much. And I will continue to promote you and send people to your page and into your programs. If we get the links, I will, hey, you better pay for this.
All right, so now let's fast forward just to our conversation last week, which was May.
Yeah.
Kamille has been doing some amazing things, Kamille. You was the first, I think you was a part of the beta cohort.
Yes.
So tell us about where you were before the sprint, mindset, thoughts, emotions, all the things before the sprint.
Sure. Absolutely. So before the sprint, I had just joined the kind of the AI world. I was like, you know what? I think this is something I really want to do. I had been praying about it, and I was like, okay, I need some direction of where I wanted to go. I was overwhelmed. And when you did the sprint, I don't know what I'm doing, and you were just like, choose one thing, focus on that one thing, don't buy another thing, which I listened for a minute and then I didn't, and I got myself into a bind. Whatever. You know how it is, but because all the shiny objects, and that's how it is with AI because everything is so fast paced. Something else is coming out, and you're like, "Oh my God, I need that." But I soon realized after I didn't listen for too long that I really need to focus. I was like, "Okay, where am I going now?" So I did some of the stuff that we, did on the sprint and everything like that. Start getting used to creating in AI, and before that, I was all over the place. All over the place. I mean, I ain't know where to start. Kel'sea, I couldn't make a twin to save my life. I was struggling. And so you kind of gave us some really good direction, in what to do. And so I took that advice and I started getting good at certain things. I started posting a little bit here and there. People started seeing me in a different light from what I usually do, which is editing, book editing, and coaching, stuff like that. And started getting curious about AI. And then I was like, okay, let me host my first workshop. So I did. And I did a $149 course. And I got some participation and some great responses from that. So that gave me a little bit of confidence because actually I was going to do it for $27. And then I had a prompt pack that was $17. And somebody was like, the gems that you give, I'm not going to pay the 27. I'll pay the full price for that thing. So whatever you charge. So I said I can do 149. So I did the 149, got signups, had a great course. went very, very well. Bought the prompt packs, and so that gave me kind of confidence to dig in a little bit. So that's where I was before. And then after you, I was like, okay, I have to work. I gotta make some money. I spent this money on this program. And it's not gonna be another thing where I'll be like, I made a dime, but I done spent thousands of dollars and everything. And it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. But it's only worth it if you do something with it. So I was there, and I've watched you from afar. And since the sprint, I've been really busy. I hated that I missed your in person, the latest one that you did. I was traveling, so I couldn't be on there. But I just want to say thank you, for clarifying some things, making things very, very easy for us during that beta. Very easy, actionable. You explained the background, how it worked, and I'm a person that I need instruction. Once I get it, I got it. Get it, got it good. But if it's just too ambiguous and it's not like, you know how it is. Mm-hmm. So that's where I was before, and now I am ready to rock and roll. I've been working.
Yeah. So tell us about what you've been able to create after the sprint, and then tell us that first. I don't want to do too much, but yeah.
Okay, so I did start doing like my AI twin in my videos, right? So it gets pretty close to me. And so I had one, everybody's like, it sounds like you, looks like you. My youngest daughter, though, she's a bit of a creative. And she was like, it just does something different. I'm like, it's not supposed to be exactly me. It's like my cousin twin, but so she didn't like that. So I said, well, I'll leave that alone. So I started doing classes because I was really good at prompting. So, like you told us, take one thing that you're good at, and you only got to know a little bit more than everybody else. So I started doing what I knew, and I know how to prompt. I know how to make AI give me what it is that I want. I know how to learn from AI. And so I started doing that, and I just started teaching people how to prompt and teaching people how to prompt. And then people would come to me like, how do you make this do? Well, how did you come up with the prompts? I'm like, well, the best way to learn is ask the teacher, right? So I started asking. I said, that's what I do. They still don't get it. But, so I said, let me do this prompt course. So I started doing that. And people would call me like, girl, how do I do X, Y, Z? I'm paying you. And they would, before I could say that, they're like, I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you full price. Whatever it is, I'm going to pay you. So I said, okay. So I started right where I knew, with the one thing, like you told us, start with the one thing that you know how to do. It doesn't have to be big. You don't have to be super expert, but you just have to start with what you know, and then you get good at that. And so that's what I did, and that's how I started getting my wheels, started getting my confidence, started putting myself out there. And I didn't know what it was going to look like, but I have been booked and busy.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. So I like to ask this question, but I if it's too intrusive, please let me know. But have you been able to make money since the sprint?
I have. So I made money, and here's the funnier thing too. So I was shortchanging myself. I know that. I was doing a little bit because I was afraid. So I started with a $7 little something because I'm like, oh, nobody's gonna blink at $7. Well, people blinked at $7. But when I increased the price, it was like they were intrigued and they wanted to know. And the more that I did, so like I said, I started with but I ended up doing the $149. And I told them that was an introductory. So my next one's $349. And everybody was like, fine, it's fine. You know what I mean? No issues. And so with that, I've been building agents. So I realized I had Growth Hub 365, right? I don't know if I should say this, but anyway, Growth Hub is a beast, right?
It is.
If you don't understand. And so we had one person, she really helped us out. Her name is Lori. And she did a in-depth Zoom for free for 4 weeks for us. And I learned how to build an agent, but that wasn't the type of agent that I really enjoyed. It was tedious for me. It was a little bit more, but then they came out with the agent course. And before they did the agent course, though, I was curious about agents. So again, I went to the source and said, help me figure this thing out. And so I started building agents. I built my first book. I'm an editor. I retired from the Air Force, and then I became a developmental editor and like book coach. So I built an agent for myself to help me with that, the book success agent. Then I said, okay, well, what else do I do and how else can I help myself? So I was practicing on myself because who else is your, like I use my own issues and try to solve my own problems with AI. Yeah. And so I started doing that. I'm a very, faith filled person. So I did on TikTok, I do like a series of like motivational, inspirational, spiritual type things in the morning. And it was a lot to research and do all the things. So I said, well, let me see. And I'm a person that I want to get you to think. So I said, I challenge the things that we've been taught, the challenge the way that we've been thinking. And so I created a agent called Rightly Divided Scripture Unlocked. And it allows us to go in and question those things. Learned how to put strict controls in there where I wanted the information to be drawn from, because for me, it was very important that the word remain the word. So I learned how to put the disclaimers in there and say, look, this does not replace your Bible study, opening up your Bible. It does not replace discernment from God. It does not replace guidance from your local pastors, ministers, whatever the case may be. And it's a you and God thing. But this will help to guide you. And so the more I dug, the more I got interested. And I found that this part of AI, building the agents in like chat or whatever like that, I absolutely love. I love all of the stuff. I don't know. So yep, I've made money. and God put it on my heart to reach out to a friend of mine who first got me into personal growth, personal professional growth. And that's where I met some of the other folks, Andy Enriquez and Inky Johnson and all that kind of stuff. And told me to say, reach out to him and just tell him that you'll build him an agent for him to do. And I was like, I'm just going to do it because you guys he and his wife poured into me so much. And we weren't close friends. We were kind of distant friends, but just watching them and learning from them, I was like, I just want to do this. And it's, good practice. So I did, and I showed him on the thing on Zoom. And as I'm building, I said, because I want to do this for you. And he said, Kamille, I don't like that. I don't want to do it. I need it. I have no interest, but I know who does, and I'm gonna come to you. And he was like, and I have a whole network in my city where they do monthly get-togethers for business owners who are looking to find other people that do what they need. And he said, and I have a lot of people who need what you have and what you're doing. He said, so I'm gonna promote you in all of my monthly things. He said, do you mind if I send people to you? And I said, absolutely not. Like, send them on, please. You know what I mean? And so there was a collaboration there made, and another person who was a spa owner was like, when I was doing like the carousels and things like that, she was like, can we do in-kind services first? Because I was still learning. I told her, I said, look, I'm not good at this, but I'm trying. And she said, oh, I see what you do. I love it. Absolutely. And then she was like, and if you get comfortable, can I refer people to you? I said, yeah. So I actually just did a week's worth of carousels for her today. And she was like, oh my God, these are fabulous. And so, it's just different ways that you find to do what you love, what you're good at, to make money, to get services. Yeah, I'm a sucker for a spa.
Yes.
I get free massages, nails. She said pedicures, nails, facials, whatever it is. I said, I will create a carousel.
It'll only take me 5 minutes or less. But you ain't got to know all that.
You never know all that.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, so I have made money. I've made collaborations. I'm putting together an agent that is a beast. And I'm loving it, Kel'sea. When I say it's a beast, I'm like, feel like this thing is probably gonna be worth about $25,000.
Let's speak that into existence.
I feel it in my shine.
Let's round it up. $30,000.
30,000. I'm so serious. I did a smaller one for my mom, and the work that it took her to do, normally in a month because of the type of work it is, she was able to do in one day.
Wow.
Yep. So she's been around the house shouting, yeah.
Let's go. So if you could tell anybody, what's the word that I'm looking for? For the person who is struggling and they don't know what to do, what is one piece of advice? I heard you say a couple of things. Why should they join the sprint? Do you think it's for everybody? Who do you think it's for? And what should they do?
So I would absolutely say it's for everybody, no matter where you are, because you gave us so many gems. First of all, you just have a giving heart, and you were so patient with us, and your demeanor, just very positive, very easy, just answered all the questions. You know, it was never a dumb question or anything like that. You were like, look, that's why we're here. And so that was very, that just made me like, really, I was like, I love this. And the way that you explained things and how you broke it down and you were very thorough, it just, for those of us who I'm a little older, you know, as my daughter says, I'm almost half a century old, but you know, for those of us who are not quite as quick with the stuff, the way that you broke it down, took your time, it really just like resonated and stuck. And it was like, oh, it's really not that hard, you know? And the fact that you took your time, you gave us homework every day, you checked on us with them homeworks to say, okay, who's done? Oh, no, you didn't do it. Go do it right now. Mm-hmm. You didn't leave any room for any excuses on the table for at least to get us a win. So it was hard for me just to do that social media post. Like when you told us to do that, I was shaking in my skin. What do you mean post about my business? Like, what business are you talking about? The one that I don't have yet? But I did it. And then, and to tell you that too, I did not have an AI business, but I do have a registered business now. So that was like, you know, just the catalyst. The thing that put me over was to be able to do that, and people see me and say, okay, this is, and it piques some people's interest. So it's for everybody. I would say join the sprint. Kel'sea is super patient. She's like, the things that she gave us, the prompts, the homework that really makes you get out and do it right now, totally worth it. And then the second thing I would say is start where you are. Start where you are. I was shocked at how many people didn't know the basics about stuff that I took for granted. People didn't know how to do that, just like prompting, how to make AI give you what you want, how to correct certain things. I saw a post the other day where somebody was like, every time I try to do carousels in chat, it wants to put them all in one image. I can't get it. And other people were like, I don't know how to separate it either. I don't know. It just keeps giving all of them at one. And I'm like, boom, I already got it figured out. And here's a master prompt because I created a master prompt for it. So being able to solve little things like that for people that make a whole lot of difference. They had been working on it for days and hours and days trying to figure that thing out and still couldn't do it. And to be able to give it to them just like that and solve the problem that they've been searching for, that's worth something. It's worth something. And you have to put it, as uncomfortable as it is, you have to put a price tag on it because free don't pay no bills. Free frustrates you. It's good for a minute, but after a while, you be like, and while everybody else is, you know, out there doing their thing. And I said, you can't get mad at the people that are out there getting it because they're getting it. They're working with what they have. And if you're complaining, well, they stuff like mine is better, nobody knows because you ain't put yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to value it enough that other people value it. When you value it, people don't have a choice but to value it. So you'll be surprised at who will actually pay for your services. So I would say start where you are. Do not start for free. Do it afraid. Put the price out there and don't stop at one time. If nobody, I've had times where I posted something, nobody showed up. Guess what I did? I posted again. I said I scheduled it for the next week. And I talk about it as if my room was full, because there was a time when my room was full. And so I can still lean on that to know that what I did was worth it. And I can still use the testimonials, and I can still use all of that stuff to say people found value. They don't know that nobody didn't show up to my last one or the whatever one it was. Nobody knows that.
Right.
But you, unless you tell them. And so you keep posting it out there. They keep seeing it. People will start like, okay, but when you doing your next one? So I've had like 6 people come and say, hey, when are you doing your next workshop? I want to be a part of it. So I would say that.
Man, I feel like this should have been like a call inside of the inside. I gotta repurpose this. This was simply amazing, because the way that you just broke things down, the way that you are speaking to people who are overthinking it, the people who are, I want to wait until everything is perfect, the people who feel like, well, I don't know everything, the people who feel like, well, I don't know if I want to pay. There's so many things that you said that I hope whoever hears this sees wherever they are and make the change, because we can get in our own way. We are a lot of times are getting in our own ways of our own blessings, because we choose to be comfortable in the life that we are now. But we want to get to something else, but we can't, because we are putting up these roadblocks. Oh, I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough skills. When those are just delay blocks from us reaching the lifestyle that we want to reach. So thank you so much for all of that good information, because, man, you said some good words.
And I want to say this too, Kel'sea. I had to have a come to Jesus moment. I had to have a light bulb moment go off. But we often expect the other people to see us in the light that we don't see ourselves in. And if we don't see ourselves first, then why do we expect for them to? And so, so we're holding people to a standard that we're not holding for ourselves. And you wonder why that there's incongruence. You wonder why there's inner conflict, inner turmoil. You wonder why there's this imposter syndrome. It's because we're expecting people to see us in a way that we haven't shown up for ourselves first. And so you have to show up for yourself first. So you have to say, I don't care if nobody comes 10 times, I'm going to do it 11 times, and somebody's going to come eventually. And people don't realize it's visibility. The algorithm is made that everybody doesn't see your post. You may have 1,000 or 2,000, and you might only have 20 people that actually sees it. It might not be those 20 people that are interested. But if you keep on, then the algorithm eventually, with consistency, recognizes, and it pairs you with the people who are interested in that stuff. So you can't do it one time and expect it, or think that it's a flop, because it wasn't a flop. People just didn't see it. They did not see it. So you have to keep putting it out there until people start to see you and start asking the questions. And every single response, every single you respond to that person. You say, hey, I'm having a thing. Would you like more information? Or, hey, what are you struggling with? And then give them a little bit of something free on social media that they can try, so that they know that you're the real deal. And it's not like you're giving all your services away for free, but you are giving them something that's working for them, that makes them want to come back more. So you got to see yourself in the light that you want people to see you in. Because if there's any kind of incongruence, people spot a fake a mile away. They feel our energy. They know. And if you're not confident, they're not confident in you either. How can you expect somebody to be confident in you and you ain't confident in yourselves? So that was a come to Jesus moment for me. So I just wanted to share that as well.
That's a whole, girl, you done gave me so many motivational Mondays for the next month that I'm like, I need to talk about this. No, that's really good, because that's real. Marcus said that today. He was talking when he was giving me my feedback. Transparently speaking, I was like, well, I went inside of this community, and this community, they're a low ticket community, and I'm going in there with my $9.97 offer, and nobody's buying. He said, you're assuming. And then he goes into the story of Abraham and Sarah, how Sarah laughed when God said that he was going to give her a son.
Yes.
Because she didn't believe that she could do that. And so that was a whole message within itself. I was like, that was good. I
And if
appreciate you for
God
sharing.
says yes, who are we to say no?
Right.
Like we
He can
we
see in
keep
us
on.
that we things that we can't see in ourselves. So we have to value. That's what you're saying. We have to value ourselves enough.
Yeah.
And it could be. He said you're about to lower your price, and when in actuality you just need to change your skills. You just need to fix
Yes.
your skills.
Yes.
So I was like,
Yes.
I receive it.
And I will say, Kel'sea, let me say this. For those of you guys who are on the fence, I'm not sure what you're the 997. I'm telling you that I meant what I said when I was in the sprint, that it was worth way more than what we paid as the beta group. And that 997 is not too far fetched. That is it's worth it. Like what you taught us in there, it's absolutely worth it. So I don't want anybody to think that it's not. You're going to get value, but here's the problem. And I'm going to say this very quickly. But the problem is that we say the system or the product doesn't work, but we're not working it. If we are honest, and I had to be honest with myself, I spent thousands and tens and twenties and $100,000 on programs. Okay, over the years. Like I said, I'm almost fit. I'll be 49 in a month or two. But I had to have a real moment with myself. And if one person is successful in the program, it means that the program is successful. But what we're not is honest about the effort that we put into it, the challenges that we face internally. We don't confront our fears. We want to blame everything and everybody and all the stuff, everything except for ourselves. And it's us. And it's us. So what you give, the value you give is absolutely worth the 997. So I want to say that to you. It's absolutely worth the 997. Everybody may not be able to pay for it right now, but it's not because it's not worth it. It's just getting in front of the people who have the money to give. That's it. So I don't want you to ever think that it's too much or the value wasn't there. I will never say that about your sprint program. Those 3 days were jam packed. You gave us actionable things. You slowed down. You talked to us on our level. You helped us to get it. And it is absolutely worth the 997. So stick with it. Don't come down. Just keep putting it out there. Your people will come. They will come. And I'm speaking that from a slightly lower level. I'm doing the 149 now. I'm doing the 349, but not for the agents. That's just for the course.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. And I am gonna make that stretch very soon to 997 because I know that what I do have is worth it. I've seen how it has changed people's businesses. Just telling them to do this little tweak, and they're like, "Oh my God, that solved all of my problems. I've been trying to work on this forever." People will pay for you to solve their problems. They just have to know you exist and that you have the answer to the problem they have. So keep going. Keep going.
I received that. I appreciate that. I
No
really
problem.
do appreciate that because sometimes I do have those moments and I'm like, no, but like if this person and that person and that person got like, and I just be feeling bad sometimes when people are not, like one lady said to me, she's like, well, I only made a certain amount of dollars. I'm like, but you made money though.
Right.
Keep going. Like it's not something that's just gonna come overnight. Like you literally have, it's a sport. You have to keep doing it over and over and over again. So
And you only get faster, like you say, with sprint with reps. You don't just get up and sprint and you're just the gold medalist. You don't wake up and you're a Sha'Carri. If you look at Sha'Carri's life, she's been training since she was a kid. And the amount of effort that she put in, she breathed track and field to get where she is today. We sometimes look at her as an overnight success, but no, baby, that was in works forever. And we have to treat our businesses the same way. Even though it's a sprint, it's a marathon. You know what I mean? It's a marathon before you ever get to the sprint.
yeah.
So yeah, don't give up. I'm in it. I just made up my mind. I said, okay, God, I can't go back. I can't go back. I know suddenly what I'm worth.
Yeah.
And I'm not shortchanging myself anymore. So
Whew.
yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. So I appreciate that. That was so good. Oh my God, I'm so excited to put out. Yeah, you said some good words, so thank you for that. Okay, your time to shine, and please believe I'm gonna compensate you for your time for sharing this with me because you didn't have to. So
Girl,
I
I
appreciate.
wanted to. I literally, when I saw you, and there's certain people. I told my mom I have a few people that pour into me, or there's something about them that makes me want to give. So this is just a give. If you wanted to, that's fine, but this is not what that is. I really just wanted to give back to you because you have a beautiful spirit. We got to meet in
Yes,
Atlanta, so
yes.
that was awesome. And I was supposed to get back with you, but I've been on the road and doing a lot of things since. So
Doing a
when I
lot of
saw
great
that, I
things.
said, yeah, so let me just share. And we're in community together, right? We're in community together. So I just want to share this with you. So
Okay.
no problem.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So, two things we can do.
Okay.
All right. It does take some time, a little bit of time, but I just want to show you how to do it so we can actually build something, not just a fake thing, and then I can give you the GPT. You know what I'm saying? Um, so, if you tell me what it is that you actually want to do, then we can actually do a real build.
Okay. I built them out GPTs
Mm-hmm.
separately. Current one that I'm refining right now is my lead qualifier.
Okay.
So I built it out with Lovable. I have it
Mm-hmm.
coming through. They register for my webinar, and then it'll go through my AI agent that I built through Lovable, and it'll mark it as a hot, warm, cold lead or whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
then sending them a text message for them to fill out a 5 questionnaire thing to really know where they're at in their journey.
Mm-hmm.
I get a message on Telegram to let me know what warm, like if they're warm, cold, or hot with their information. And yeah, I basically
Mm-hmm.
just want to know if this person is going to be someone that buys from me. That's what that
Gotcha.
agent does. Yeah.
Okay. And so you were talking about you asked me if like in chat you can get them to talk to each other. So what kind of agent there do you want it to do that's talking? Like
So if I have a sales
what is it?
team, or I don't know what would be
Mm-hmm.
easier, a sales team or a marketing team, like I have my branding person. My branding person is going to talk to my copywriter. My copywriter is going to talk to my social media manager to be able to create whatever it is that I need them to create.
Okay, let me. A couple months ago, and she really helped to clarify it. She made me do my first social media post about, being an AI consultant or doing AI. And it took me a minute. I was shaking in my skin, but I did it. But anyway, I finally found that thing. I put it out there. She kept saying, post and post and post. And people started seeing me in a new light, more in the consultant. And I actually just got off the phone. I was on the phone while you were talking with someone who called me and asked me how they can utilize my services. And then I just got another payment of $500 yesterday. So in the last 2 weeks, I've made a few $1,000s. I'll just say that. Building the agents, yeah, simple things just for people, whether it's social media, doing their prompts and stuff like that. Somebody did has like a digital marketing program. And so I was able to create an agent with that. Another one was a book writing success agent. I'm an editor. That's what I did after the military. But so I was able to create that. And over the last couple of days since we talked, Kel'sea, I have gotten like 4 more requests for agents and to help with AI stuff. So I'm on my way. I did one for grants. I did one for, doing my mother spent 40 some years and still going in the grant writing business. She's very successful, but I see the struggles, I see the things. So I was able to create her an agent that walked through that whole process. And what normally took her 3 weeks, because she's really, really, meticulous about the things, took her a day to go through the whole process. And then I looked at all the gaps that people had and I created agents to fill those. And now I have this big enterprise level one that I'm working on to be able to pitch to help organizations really get funding and know how to manage. So yeah, so it's been a very interesting last few weeks, and it's been very what's the word? I've generated some income.
But can we give some hand claps and hearts and hand claps for Kamille? Because she's definitely been executing. And you heard her say, some of my students, I haven't heard this in a while, but some of my students call me the AI drill sergeant. Because I'm gonna push you to do some things that you may not be comfortable doing. Kamille, do you think if I wouldn't have pushed you, how you think it would have turned out for you, what, a couple of months later?
I would have been a couple months later still trying to make that post. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And Kel'sea was like, no, do it now. And I'm like, but we on the training, I'm gonna do it out. She was like, no, just pop over and post it now, and I'm gonna go and check. And so she did, and people were commenting like, oh, okay. First, it was a little bit of curiosity. And the funny thing is, even though I still post, I don't get a lot of comments on my post, but I get a lot of DMs, people that are curious about it in my DMs and like, hey, can we talk about it? And I don't know why people are so afraid to say that they want to do AI, like they have this resistance. And one lady was like telling me how she was overwhelmed. And I said, well, I'm gonna do AI. Oh no, I like to be human. I said, well, let's do all the stuff that you don't, so you can be more human, facing. You could be forward facing with your clients. Let the AI take care. Oh no, we got this. And I'm like, girl, okay, if you need me, call me. But we booked a message with her real estate team, a meeting with her real estate team on Monday the 18th. So I'm going to go into her real estate team. I'm going to talk about what they need as the team and create an agent for them. So yeah, I don't know, Kel'sea, if I would have done it. Because I was so hesitant and so scared. And you was like, no, do it now. So, and that's what, catapulted me and being able to really, really start earning. So thank you.